Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth-given name. Guys, I want to thank you for tuning into my channel. If you happen to be new, I hope you would consider subscribing, and I will be sure to subscribe back to you. Alright guys, so today's topic is self-esteem and confidence. Ooh. Well, first guys, I want to say that self-esteem and self-confidence should be instilled in us early on in our lives, in our childhood. So I just want to encourage you guys, if you have children, be sure that you continue to build that confidence in them early on, letting them know that they're worthy, that they're beautiful, and there can be anything that they want to be in this world. Next, I want to let you know, if you happen to be older and you're still fighting with that confidence and self-esteem, it is not too late to build and establish your self-esteem and your confidence. All right, guys, for example, let's just say that the confidence and self-esteem was not instilled in you early on. It could be many reasons: lack of affection from your parents, dealing with abandonment issues. Maybe your mom or your dad wasn't present. Even being adopted sometimes, and I stress sometimes, can lead to a sense of abandonment, which eventually will lead to a feeling like you're not worthy enough. You're not worthy enough if your own parent left you. So that self-esteem and confidence has been shooken early on. So then we start to attend our school years, elementary, middle, high school. Now, mind you, during this time, naturally, we're kind of dealing with self-esteem and confidence issues because our hormones are changing. And, we're going through all this crazy stuff and we're trying to figure ourselves out. So just imagine if you're in that period where you're trying to figure out your confidence because of your hormonal changes, and just to think that self-esteem was not even built in you early on. So just imagine how many things can be going on at once. And then in addition, you may have some bullying going on, or kids just making little comments, kids being kids. So you have all of that built on top of not having that self-esteem and confidence instilled in you early on. So you have a double whammy. And then eventually, what happens? The next phase of life for some of us, for many of us, we get married, we have children. So we move on to that family lifestyle. And then guess what? There's a good chance you still did not develop your self-esteem and your confidence before even getting married. Because where was that time where you had time to really sit back and work on yourself? You probably was in college and studying and just living, that lifestyle, that fun, wild lifestyle that we do from the transition from high school to college, or from high school to our years of our 20s and even 30s. And I mean, some people, even older, 40s and 50s, is still trying to figure out and establish their self-esteem and self-confidence. So then we jump into the marriage, into the children, and we then start to love on our children, love on our spouse, and then that becomes our new identity. We're a wife or a husband or a mother, and all of that is wonderful, yes. But at the same time, again, did you have time to work on yourself and establish truly who you really are? You know what I mean? And you can even have that spouse who is supportive of you and maybe see that you are lacking self-esteem or self-confidence in certain areas. And they're probably supportive, telling you that you're beautiful or are attractive every day. And you don't even feel it. It goes in one ear and goes out the other. Why? Because it has to be built from your inner soul. No one can place confidence in you. You can't even dress confidence up or put confidence on. That is your inner soul. That starts from within. So then what happens? Next, the kids eventually starts to grow up and they want to be hanging out with their teenager friends, then eventually go off to college and want nothing to do with you. And then you're sitting home like, who am I in this emptiness syndrome that I'm going through. Who am I? Like, you're looking in the mirror like, I don't even know what I like to do. And now you're calling the kids wanting to go and see them at college every day. And they're like, Mom, Dad, I just want to be with my friends. And you're sitting home like, who am I? Like, I've lost myself. Sometimes we lose ourselves, but sometimes we never even found ourselves. So, with that being said, let's go back and look. Like I said, from the very beginning, confidence was never instilled for some of us. For some of us, early on, then we became committed to our family and our friends. Our family and our children, and we dedicate our lives to them. Okay, as you should. But with all that being said, is that truly your gift and your calling to be a wife, a husband, a parent? Probably so. For many people, that is their gift and their calling. And that is why they do it so well. And it completes them. And their self-esteem and confidence is probably really solid because they're living in their true soul purpose and calling. But for some of us, there's more. There's more for us to do. We have to tap into our soul to understand, and we have to ask God, what is my true purpose in my calling? What is that one thing that I love the most and that I would do it for free? I would do it for free and still get joy out of it if I wasn't even being paid for it. The thing you live and you breathe and it keeps coming back to you over and over. It's a possibility that that is your true purpose and your calling. Tap into that. Make it your hobby. Make it a career if you choose to. But because that is all yours and God has given you that as your gift and your calling, you will succeed abundantly in that area. And that will fill you up. There's no better feeling than to be able to help someone else and assist someone else in the one thing that God has called us to do. So once you establish what it is that your purpose and your calling is, God, you go out here and you give it all that you got. And eventually you will start to feel confident and successful in that area. And it will just make you feel all warm and fuzzy in the inside. And most importantly, whatever happened to you in childhood and your foundation is not who you are. So you may have to unlearn many things in which you have learned. And I just want to let you know, if you are someone who was abandoned or even adopted or any other issues dealing with trauma in childhood, you are not that person. You are worthy. You are beautiful. And my prayer is that you will tap into your inner confidence. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.